lesson 2.2, clipping mask. Okay, so we have, with clipping mask, the situation is this. What you're wanting is, in this case, I've got a background over another background. But what I want to do is, I want to put some text on this blue background, but I want it to have this texture of the background copy too. So I'm going to rename this just to make this easier. Texture. Now, I'm going to go ahead and just grab my type tool, and I'm just going to draw and type a word, and I'm going to flip my foreground color here so it's a pretty pink. And I think I spelled that right. We'll find out when I blow this thing up. Let's see here. There we go. Okay. Beautiful. There we go. Okay, so now I've got my text. Now notice whenever on Photoshop, when you type text, it goes on its own layer. Now in this case, what I want is, I want the background to be all blue, and I want this text to show up in this texture, this aqua green texture that I have. So I'm going to put this texture above my text layer, because I want the text to show this texture on this background. Now, how I'm going to do that? I'm going to hold my Alt key down, and when I go between these two, I'm going to get these double circles, and I'm just going to click, and now if you take a look what happened. It took the texture that I wanted, put it inside those words and on top of the bottommost background. Now what I can do is, I can go to this text and I can do all sorts of things with it. For instance, I can open up my layer style, by double clicking over here to the side. If you double click in the name, it wants you to rename. If you double click on the text, it goes back into the text for you to edit. So you want to go click to the side of the name of that layer, and it opens up your layer style. And I'm just going to do some different things. I'm going to drop shadow it. Once you check it, you have to make sure it's highlighted, so then you can go in, and I'm going to make it more of a pink drop shadow color. Then I'm going to increase that size, and I can then do other things. I can make the distance more, whatnot, but I don't want to do that, because if you look over here, your preview shows you. I want the size to be out there, but the distance away I don't really want. Now I also want to bevel it, or actually I want to emboss this. So I'm going to click on bevel and emboss and drop down and go to emboss, and I'm going to leave it on up. I want to soften it just a bit, and you'll see how the bevel picks it up there. And I can do some different things with my highlight modes, but I'm going to leave those. You can move your box so you can really see the word. The preview can be a little bit difficult, and I can go in and I could say change that to normal and see what it looks like. And I could take this black and change it to a pink, kind of carnation pink. See what happens there. And notice that I'm on a multiply shadow mode. I'm going to go back to normal and see what happens there. And I'm going to emboss. I'm going to chisel hard and click OK. And now I have that texture with the added features, the added effects on my layer, my text layer itself on this background. And that is basically the clipping mask for you. You can also do this with shapes, and I'll do that in another lesson. So I can show you how you're going to use basically a shape to hide a certain portion of a picture, or maybe put a border around a picture on top of a background layer like this, and it looks really nice and gives that picture the added features. So I'll do that in another lesson.